Hi guys, it's Jess and I am here today to talk about my review of Paper Towns by John Green. So I was previously reading Seeing Red, but I could not get into it and I realized I needed a break. I'm not very good at reading series all the way through one after another, so I always need a break in between, and so for my break I decided to read Paper Towns because I really want to see the movie, but as a booktuber, there is something in me that does not allow me to go see a movie if I know and already own the book. And so I had to read this, and oh my gosh, I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars, hands down. This book for me has been super hyped up. And most of the time when a book is super hyped up, I go in with huge expectations, and it turns out that I hate it. But I'm happy to say that's not the case with this one. I love this book. I love all the characters. I love so much about it. I did do an extensive review on my blog and on Goodreads, so you can check that out down below if you're interested. If I try to peg down why I love this book so much, I think it's John Green's writing. It is so good. You really fall in love with the characters and the situations, and for me, I can always tell a book's 5 out of 5 when I try to read faster because I want to get to the end just to find out what it is, but I'm afraid of missing something if I skip over. And that's what this book did to me. Quentin, I love Quentin. I think the character development of Quentin is just amazing. It is what I want in a novel, is to see that kind of drastic character development from the very first line of the book through to the end, and how crazy different a character ends up. So if you're not familiar with Paper Towns, this is about Quentin and Margot. Those are kind of our two big characters. And Quentin has lived and grown up across the street from Margot for as long as he can remember. And as they grew up, they kind of grew apart, but he still watched Margot and tried to learn about Margot and, kind of what you do when you have a crush on someone. And then one night, Margot shows up to his house, knocks on his window, and takes him on this crazy adventure, and then she just disappears. And this is about Quentin trying to find out where she disappeared to. The book really focuses on, in my opinion, on expectations and how when we build expectations up, a lot of the times it's not what we want or what we hope or even what we've created in our mind's eye to be reality. It's something completely different. And I absolutely loved that. And then it does a great job of juxtaposing Margot's outlook on life and wanting to strike out of what we hope and what we want, and wanting to strike out of, the social norm and turning it into her own life. And this is just such a great book about that, about growing up and moving from, that childhood up to the beginning of an adult and how you learn to be that way. I also want a huge shout out to John Green. The support characters in this book do exactly what I always hope support characters do. They kind of bring you back down. They bring humor. They make you laugh so much. Oh my gosh, the support characters in this book, I could not get over how hilarious some of the stuff they said was. And also, one of the things I wrote in my blog review was one of my favorite scenes of this book came from Radar, which is one of the support characters. It's one of Quentin's really good friends. And Radar is talking about how you can't expect people to change, and they are who they are, and they're going to stay who they are, and you can't anticipate that to change just because you're not happy with it. And I think it's really important to remember that you don't have to be the main character in a story, whether that's your story or someone else's story, to have that impactful insight for them. You don't have to be that that person that everyone's focused on. And that, for me, John Green does a great job of that for me, because he brings his support characters into the fold of the story and makes them important. He makes them matter. And that, I think, is one of the reasons I love this, because a lot of times, especially when you read a lot, you realize you're not a main character. You're a main character in your life and maybe one or two other people's lives, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not a main character. And it's great that John Green brings it in so that even support characters are important. Even support characters play that important role and say those important lines that matter. And I really appreciate that so much. And I think it's a huge reason why I gave Paper Towns 5 out of 5. That and the ending. So I am not a huge fan of those fairy tale endings. I like realism. I like my realism maybe occasionally to be sugar-coated, yes, and I like that little happier ending occasionally. But for the most part, I want truth. I want real. And that is what John Green does here. He gives you the truth at the end. I mean, Quentin builds up this huge expectation and knows when he gets there, it's not going to be what he wants. And then when he doesn't get exactly what he wants, I think it's great. And I'm not saying I'm a cynic, but I think a lot of times when we read, and general media, movies, TV shows, all that kind of stuff, we're painted this beautiful picture at the end, a lot of the time. And so our expectations become this beautiful picture, just like Quentin's were in Paper Towns. And then we're so disappointed and so crushed when, at the end of it, we don't get exactly what we want. We don't get what we envisioned. I love that that did not happen in this book. It meant a lot to me because I don't think it's healthy to give this regular portrayal of a picture-perfect ending. So huge kudos to John Green. I can't believe I'm sad that I waited so long to read this. I am going to do a video of my comparison of the book and the movie since it's so fresh in my mind, because I'd really like to see that, and I'm really interested in whether or not the movie did the book justice, because the book, 5 out of 5, so amazing. I am a huge fan. The next book, I was planning on finishing Seeing Red, but I think I need a little more time. I'm not ready to jump back into the story yet. So I'm going to read something that was on my TBR for some time now, and I planned to read a while ago, which is Fangirl, and this lighting is crazy. Okay, there we go. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I don't really know what this is about, just I know it's about two twins, it's about a nerdy girl, they're going to college, kind of going their own way, and I assume we follow Kath, since it says, hey Kath. And I also am pretty sure it's a love story of some sort. Not 100% sure. So I'm really excited to read this. I imagine this will be a real quick read. I just kind of need those easy reads right now. Not to say that Seeing Red wasn't easy, it's just not where my mind is right now. So, super excited to read Fangirl. I will let you know what's going on with that when I'm done and my thoughts. I will have a haul soon. I did a pretty decent amount of damage on Book Outlet and stopped by Barnes & Noble because I have no restraint. So, look forward to that. If there's anything you guys want to see, please let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!